There we are. Hi, everybody. My name is Margaret Pinard. Welcome to my channel. You're on BookTube writ large, which also includes AuthorTube, which my friend Heather is here to join us with the Author of the Day featured for Sundays on Streamyard. Welcome, Heather. Say hello.
Hello, Margaret. Thank you for having me, first of all.
Of course.
And we can work on my StreamYard skills some more.
Yes. And so just to let everyone know, Heather Dewey-Pettet is about on the same timeline as me in terms of YouTubing. So she's got way more experience in the art world and in the editing world. So we're going to hear a little bit about her backgrounds as we go through this. But in case you are new here, which Anita is not. Hi, Anita. Hi, Cool Gamer. Welcome, welcome. But in case you're watching this after and looking for resources, the situation is this. I have a series where I help people who are looking for better ways to utilize StreamYard as a streaming app. And we go over things that are specific to their needs and what might help their channel get to another level. So I don't know how much I help people. No one comes back to tell me. So we'll see what I can do. So Heather, you have had a paid account, but now you're on a free account. So for anyone wondering, we're on a paid account on mine, and so we'll be able to do some things. But if you have questions about what is a paid level thing and a free level thing, we might be able to help sort you out. And basically just like help people get comfortable streaming on their own. So, first up question. How much do you prepare for a stream on any given day? Like, what does it involve? Tell the people at home what it involves. Like, we've started compiling a little checklist. So let's take you through the setup, and then we'll go through Heather's specific checklist. How about that?
All right. So yeah, on any given day, I can. Oh, hello, Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
My days can vary because I am a mom, and I'm basically a mom of a special needs individual who's 18 years old. Anyway, I just wanted to use that to qualify everything I may say today. Sometimes I get interrupted, and hello, and so hi, Bonnie. Yeah, sometimes I get interrupted because I'm a mom.
Yes.
Things can vary on occasion. I try not to vary things too much, but life does happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Try to stick to your routine, but don't make it like the shackles that will enslave you, for sure.
Yes.
So this is not going to be about setup because Heather knows how to do the setup as the host, connecting the destination, making the event broadcast, doing the thumbnail in Canva, putting in the description. So we're going to skip over that part, but look at the playlist if you want to brush up on those. And we're going to talk about basically what you do in like the hour before to make sure that everything is set to go and you're not like running over here, running over there. You can be as relaxed as you can while you're live on television. Yeah. Yes. So I'll do a quick rundown of what I do, and then we can talk a little bit about what Heather and I have been discussing backstage. So when I've got my description up and my thumbnail up and it's the hour before, I usually get on about 20 minutes before, and I check my banners. I check my brand color if I want to change it for whatever theme I'm talking about. I get my links ready that I'm going to share in the chat. So if you know me as a fanner from A Mighty Blaze, you know that it's very useful to have a notepad on the side where you have links for things that you want to tell people about so that you're not like wait a minute, let me find this page. And then you have to wait for it to load because you're streaming and everything's slow, and then grab the link and everything. So I try to do that beforehand and have a few of them ready, especially my next thing, so that like whenever I do a stream, I can promote the next thing so people know where to find me. So having the links ready, banners ready, brand color changed. Oh, any overlays. I don't think Heather does that because she's more of AuthorTube, less of a BookTube. But for BookTube, I have to have those books ready to like hold up a book if it's a digital one so that I can talk about it. Would you ever consider doing that for your art? Like, would you have a picture of like the art that you talk about? That's probably like meshing worlds.
I'm pretty new to I'm pretty new to talking about my art, but that's something I'm looking into doing. Trying to figure out about streaming and making art at the same time and all of that stuff. So, hi Eva. Yeah, it could be fun. I'm curious about how that would work during a live stream. One of the very first things I ever did streaming wise and with a big event would be something I did in 2020. It was an AuthorTube event, and so somebody had to do it for me because I had no idea how to do Canva. I had no idea how to do.
You've learned so much, right?
It had been quite a while since I took a layout and design class in college. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yes, okay. I keep tabs open to things. Yes.
Okay. So Eva's doing another recommendation that's similar. She keeps the tabs open to grab the URL from the address. Yeah. That makes sense too.
When I'm streaming, I have up to 10 tabs going and stuff like that.
That can make it nerve-wracking for me to find the right one. So yeah, it works better for me if I have it on the notepad. But yeah, exactly. Everyone's got different tricks up their sleeve. So that's helpful. Thank you, Eva. John is saying, just joined your channel, Heather. Yay! Following. If anyone's looking for Heather's links, they're down in the description. So that's kind of what I do normally beforehand. Oh, and sharing. So usually 2 hours before and then 10 minutes before, I'll put tweets out that have a link to the YouTube. Because Twitter is my main sort of secondary channel, but I think Heather's is Facebook. So Heather, why don't you tell us how you get it out?
Instagram. I do Instagram as much as I can, and again, that's linked to my excuse me, my Instagram is linked to my professional page on Facebook, right. Which is actually an author page,
right?
But so yeah, that's very, very helpful. It makes things really easy. So, and then I can copy that if I want to go to, say, a particular Facebook group or wherever.
Nice. And I asked about if this then that, but I don't think you use that for anything, right?
I'm sorry?
There's a website called If This Then That. Okay. Because I know some people use that. I think JD uses it. Can't remember how he does his Instagram thing, but I see them on Twitter and whatever. So there's all sorts of shady alleys that you can go down to try to find work for you. So I'm just throwing them out there and seeing if they stick.
You know what? I think I might have heard about it recently, actually. Now that I think of it.
Which one? The one I mentioned?
If This Then That.
Oh, okay. I messed around with it and it worked for a while until it didn't, and then I got stuck in one of those terrible customer service holes, and it took forever to get out, and I was like, never again. So I'm leaving that alone. But other people can have good experiences for sure. Eva's saying I can tab to Google and pull stuff up pretty quickly. I'm not on camera, yes. So the pressure isn't there. Yeah, Mr. is a notepad copy paster. There we go. See, everyone has their different ways. Eva says, I use Instagram a lot due to Linktree options being there so often, but not everyone uses it. Yeah, I don't use it that much. Nia is here. Hello. Anita uses If This Then That, I bet.
Like Instagram. I like Instagram because it's visual. It's very visual.
Right.
I like to put up photos.
Artist sensibilities. Yeah.
I was a photographer in a past life, so so that's probably one reason why I like using it. So
Yes. Descriptions. Oh, I see what you're
yes.
saying. Okay,
And
so
I recently have a Linktree, so
nice. So in case you don't know, Linktree is one of the options for putting things in your bio to expand the possibilities. It's kind of like a TARDIS. It's larger on the inside. It's basically one link that takes you to your site and gives you like a tree of links so that you can shove people to more places for you, and they can pick whichever one they're most interested in. So it's great. Yes. And I think I actually go to people's about page or their latest video to grab their links, because I think that's a good, like, what their priorities are. But Eva points out that Linktree on Instagram is also another great way to find the priorities for people if you're hosting them on your channel and want to grab them quickly. Yeah. I can see your love for photography in the photos you share of your fam. Aww.
Thank you.
Here. Hello.
Yeah. I mentioned my son before. Yeah, he's just very photogenic, so I'm always taking pictures of him.
Nice. And this is a little off topic, but since we're talking about Instagram, I use Instagram more for post-event sharing. So like we had the karaoke night last night. JC was there co-hosting with me. And I'm a dork. I take a screenshot making funny faces after it's done and then post that on Instagram because it's usually goofy and fun and helps tell people to rewatch. Do you do anything post event or post stream?
Yeah, because a lot, like I was explaining earlier, sometimes I don't get a chance to promote prior to the stream. I try not to do that, but sometimes, as we say, life happens. But so yes, I do often do it post stream. I will share in various places, including Instagram. Although I would say if I use Instagram, it's more for before. But a lot of times I'll put things in my Discord.
Right, Discord, a new player steps onto the scene. Okay, so before I ask you about Discord, let me note that down so I don't get distracted. Wait. What was the thought that I was just gonna? It was based on a comment. No, it wasn't. Dang it. Okay, lost my train of thought. It's okay. Yes. You share after the fact. Oh, it's because of the type of streams that you're sharing as well. So for sprints, for me personally, I don't think I'm getting a lot of post live traffic, because the point of the sprint is that you're like chatting during and with someone. There are people that come to sprints afterwards and just like use it for the timer and then to catch up on whatever news and gossip there is. It's an interesting YouTube population.
I've done that.
Yeah. So maybe that's also influencing how you're using Instagram to share, because it makes more sense to share before, and then sharing twice is a bit of an overkill. Maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Or I mean, I've done it both ways, and even post live stream. Sometimes it helps post as well. So sometimes I do both, especially if I just didn't get a chance prior to do much. I'll do both.
Better late than never.
Yes, exactly.
I kind of just go, oh, I guess I missed my chance. My spinster vibes are coming in my social media strategy. Spinster vibes only, right? Okay, so we're talking about Linktree and link.bio in the chat, in the comments here. Oh, right. Eva's often searching for links for her indie author index on her Book and Lane site. That makes sense. Yeah. JC's taking us through her disdain for certain things. Mia says, I try to do a during, but sometimes post after. during. That's extra pro
Yeah,
level.
I work on that too.
Really?
If you just don't, sure. Especially early on, I'll say, you know what? I just didn't get a chance to. Let me just share for this one last, and then
yeah, I guess. But I am so. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but when I'm in a live, like I am talking differently. I'm smiling differently. After I finish, my smile muscles hurt. Like I'm sweating. Like I am projecting like I'm on a stage, like a literal stage. So you may not see this, but after it, I'm totally wiped. So I'm using all my like focus and concentration. So I don't want
someone who talks softly, I force myself to project when I'm streaming. And then if I'm at an in-person event, I have to force myself to do that.
Right.
Do that anyway.
Right. If you're going to do it, you got to do it the right way to get anything out of it, right?
So.
Yeah, but it takes a lot out, for sure.
Yes.
More people stopping by to say hello. HDP and Margaret in the same place. Best day ever. You're very sweet, Barrett. Hello. Happy Sunday. He says, I don't rewatch live streams unless someone texts me and tells me to. I got a note from the universe to rewatch a live stream on Gwyneth's channel, so that may be happening later. Yes, you're about the tea. Posting anytime helps. Yep. Hey, RC, welcome. Reference from the karaoke stream last night. Okay, now we're just getting distracted. Like I said, I wouldn't. So why don't we ask about the Discord? How is that related to your AuthorTube sort of focus? Because that's new to me.
I mean, for the most part, it's a place to put my links. You know, that's what it has been for me.
Okay.
I've also used it for excuse me, for some other things. For some there was a live event I did in 2020. It's the con that I talk about, but because it was 2020, excuse me, it was done through excuse me, Discord. I don't know what's my problem with my throat, but
it's always great to have. I have 2 drinks. I have a water thing because I am choking myself
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and then I usually have tea or a hot drink as well because it's nice to have a prop. Just tricks for everyone on screen.
Yes.
Okay, so how does the Discord relate to the event in 2020?
Where there was certain times, like the way they had their Discord organized, it was by it wasn't by session, but because that was through Zoom, but they had like groups of like, here's the artists, here's the authors, and stuff like that.
Okay.
And they haven't really done much with it since, but anyway, so there was communication during certain times. We're going to do this. You can communicate. And then also there was just like a place for just open discussion about what do you do? And, let's put your links in here. If you have a shop, an online shop, people Etsy shops and whatever.
So
there was a lot of back and forth.
Here's a question about Discord, sort of bigger picture though. When I see people say I have a Discord, join, basically when I join, their Discord gets added to like a table of contents and I can toggle between like the ones that I've joined, which is like 5 at this point. So when you say you have a Discord, does that mean it's yet another place where you have to like build a following because otherwise people wouldn't know to find you and you have to approve them? Or is it a central place that belongs to someone else where you can contribute links and it's all people who are sort of in a similar community who would want to see them?
Yes.
Is it yours or is it bigger than you is what I'm asking?
Really, because I'm in I'm in quite a few, and some of them are author tubers, and some of them are not. I'm in a couple that are related to editing. And it's a wide variety of things going on.
Okay. So you post at multiple places on Discord.
Oh yeah, and I've done that.
That's what I wasn't understanding.
When I'm really on a roll in promoting my streams, I'll be all over Discord. I'll put it in mine. I'll put it in friends Discord server.
Okay. So it's kind of like treating it like Facebook when you go into different groups and we're like, hey, here's what we're doing. Here's what we're doing, and you change it a little bit so it doesn't look like spam.
A lot, Yeah. So that's another place that I can share.
Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. That's totally new. First time we're hearing that on the channel about Discord stuff. So that's very helpful. Eva says, you could form a community and have a street team for posting. And I'm not sure where this is referring to. So Eva, clarify that for me if you would. The majority of lives are done on a schedule. Yes, that's definitely true. Mostly because we're trying to play to the algorithm and have consistent content, as well as get known to people for having a routine schedule. Yeah, exactly. So we had a question earlier from John in Australia. How do you deal with a giveaway for overseas people? If it's digital content, that's not a problem, right? And then Mia was saying I would do a gift card, online gift card, or do something like bookmarks or stickers that can be sent, as first class mail, because then it's not so freaking expensive.
Much.
Right. So having options that are adaptable.
Now, something like bookmarks. Some of you may know that I have an Etsy shop, and a lot of I've had people purchase bookmarks from me. And so that's something that I've done a lot of recently because, it's related to
art.
This,
books and art.
Life, we're always reading. So that's an idea actually for me.
Very cool. Okay, so we've done a lot of talking about preparation and sharing, which we haven't gone into before, so that's a great addition. Thank you. Crowdsourced information. What about your checklist, Heather? So what do you have that you want to have ready for the actual show, the actual screen on the computer? Can you take us through some of those? And then you can use mine and pop things up and play with stuff.
So as far as the checklist, to remind me to do things like check the branding stuff and the banners. I'm definitely streamlining my the things that I will be that I do when I come in and stuff like that. The excuse me, all of that stuff. The branding stuff, the banners, and I have adjusted branding colors to the season.
Yes.
In the fall, it does tend to be more towards the warmer side.
Yes.
And then for Christmas, I've just done straight red.
I just decided to match everything today.
Oh my God, look at that. But I do tend to like the browns. And I've discussed this a lot with some people that were trying to help me with my branding in the past. I tend to gravitate. I just like browns. I don't know what it is. And that's what I started with when somebody was trying to help me. Or initially, when I started streaming in 2020, some people were helping me like Sakotumi and BC Brown. Mm-hmm. They were, they gave me some input on that. And so, and also I was trying to get things to match more to some business cards that I'd ordered. Oh my God.
That's very next level. I had
Yeah.
not even thought of trying to match your business cards to your background and branding.
Which inspired me again because I was recently working on my channel art and all this stuff and trying to make that better. These are some business cards I had made a few years ago.
Nice.
4 years ago.
Lifetime ago. Okay. So the branding stuff. What about your intro?
And I really, and then with my art kind of taking off recently, sort of. I took some gel press art that I created not too long ago, and I put that in my branding.
Okay, I don't know what gel press art is.
I'm trying to mess with it. Okay. And trying to mess with my my channel art.
Okay, that's the visual stuff, which I assume you're going to be like light years ahead of me on. What about like the stage stuff, like your intro? We talked a little bit about the intro and outro, and because I'm a nervous Nelly, like wrote mine down. It's too long. I only say the first two things because that just sounds more natural to me. Otherwise, I start tripping over my tongue and getting self-conscious. So, do you want to give us your best pitch intro so we can hear it?
Okay. Let's see. That would be. My name is Heather Dewey-Pettet, and I'm an author, editor, and artist. And as an author, I've done a lot of things over the last 20 plus years, but in recent years, I focus on fiction, and I am writing a young adult fantasy and some short stories. And then as an editor, I have been a freelance editor for 20 plus years, but in recent years, I'm focusing on fiction and also further specialize in speculative fiction. And then as an artist, I have done a lot of things over the last 20 plus years.
Okay.
I recently, wait a minute. But I have recently been recently. I've found a love for watercolors and stamps and ink, and I love making cards and bookmarks, etc. I have an Etsy shop where the tagline is art for writers and lovers of fantasy and sci-fi.
Nice. And you told me before that you usually say you stream every Sunday for 2 hours. So that you wanted to work in there too. That's a lot.
But I've been talking for how long have I been talking?
No, I can hear you. That came through fine. Yeah, you're good. Comment on your Etsy shop too. Yay.
Thank you.
So can I give you a little bit of feedback on the intro?
Sure. Go ahead.
So you started off with like the structure, the sort of tell us what we're going to hear, my name, my 3 things. And then when you go into 20 plus years for each one, I would condense that and say I've been doing 20 plus years, this, and this. So it's all of them. And then when you break it down individually is when you can say, recently as an author, I've been working on this. Recently as an editor, I've been working on this. Recently as an artist, I've fallen in love with this. And you can catch all of those things every Sunday at 11 or whatever. So that you have like a punchline at the end that's a call to action.
Yes, I agree.
If anyone else has comments, whether I'm wrong or other things to suggest, definitely tell us in the chat.
And I don't even always say it quite that way, but again, I've been talking since
long weekend, right? You're like, when is my Friday? Yeah.
Yes.
So we're talking a little bit about merch in the chat.
Condense.
Yeah, I won't distract us with the merch stores, but yeah, Eva says write it up and I'd have feedback otherwise. Yeah, good suggestion.
Yes,
Yeah.
as an editor, that was wordy. I gotta turn on my editing brain.
I don't know if you have like a map of your adrenaline during a stream, but for me there's like a hump at the beginning where I'm just like anything, get people in a friendly mood before you can sort of lapse into feeling comfortable again. So for me, that beginning where I'm doing my intro is crucial.
Quite familiar.
Yeah. So good to practice and figure that out. I'm not so big on the outros. Do you have an outro planned? It changes for me every time. I don't know. Other people I know who are YouTubers have outros. So hit us with your outro in the chat if you have one. But
generally speaking, it's kind of all currently all over the place. I would like to do this. I've seen that done. Thank you for that, Eva. Because that reminds me of that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I have been wanting to do that.
Yeah, it could be part of like the video intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten around to it. So.
Yeah. Okay, so we're meh on outros. I'm fine with that. Let's get into some of like the tech tools. I think you're fairly conversant with them, and you are a co-host this time. So one of the things that I thought we could do is look at the saved banners. So can you go into banner menu on the right-hand side and pick a folder and pick a banner to put up, and tell me if you've done that before. Yes.
I just want to say real quick, you have a lot of banners.
Eva says minimizing chaos to ease anxiety is something I'm well versed with, though I've never created video content, so I'm mostly guessing. Yeah, it's all the same strategy for sure.
Pretty much.
So when you were talking earlier about descriptions and how you use the default description in the customized channel, but you have to keep updating it, and it's sort of defeating the purpose of having a default description. So you're kind of caught between two hard places. This might be where it could help you because you have like different banners for each one. So yes, she found one that applies, right? So I've got banners stored for the different types of streams that I do, whether that's productivity sprints or TBRs or wrap-ups or author interviews, and it's sort of saved up.
That's going to remind you to do the things, say the things you wanted to say.
Right. So it's a fallback. It's not like I have to have everything in my head and have like all that executive, what's it called? Executive function. Thank you.
Oh, it's a term I'm quite familiar with.
Yes. Yeah. So it's there to fall back on. And that eases my like nervousness. So that's just a tip for people in general as well.
I like this one.
Yeah. Devin Cutting, MVP, or Tugwaddle or whatever it was. It's been too long. But yeah, so banners are a great one. Another one that we discussed a little bit was chat topics. Now, I know some people who do this religiously and some people who are just like, they're just going to go with the flow. So which one seems more comfortable to you? Because some of the scrollers you just put up were chat topics, but how do you feel you could use that best? Like at the end of a sprint, have a chat, or put the question at the beginning and talk about it at the end? What purpose do you think the question would generate, or how would you use that? What do you think?
I don't know.
And for anyone out there who's wondering, wow, Margaret thinks about this stuff way too much. You are right. But hey, I'm trying to make a go of it. So this is what we do.
Oh, goodness. Saying my name.
It's in lights. Eva's got, yeah. So I sometimes have like 3 lined up, because when I have 3 sprints, I go, okay, I'll put the question up, I'll have people answer it while I'm working away, ignoring them. And then when I come back, we can all have something to talk about, as well as our progress. If we don't have progress, then we have something to talk about. Or I think Shannon, SC Houston, just puts up one question of the day, and people sort of weigh in as they come in and sort of drift in and out, and she just revisits it when they give answers.
Mm-hmm.
Do either of those sound like what you would dig?
Yeah, I think so. Especially, what Eva was saying, a chat question to guide my chats. And then also,
that's a good comment. Let's start with just one. Yeah, that's probably a good, like, manageable.
Yeah, maybe just one for the day. I think so. I think so. And discuss. Yeah. Yes. This.
Yeah. Yeah. So Eva's giving tips for like timing, which I am not always good at, because I forget to put it up and then rush through it and have to wait because there's a lag. Yeah. Good point, Eva. Heather mentioned something earlier that I also had not covered, because I only did this for the first time last week, and that is pinning a comment. So can you tell us, Heather, when you do that and why you do that and what you think it accomplishes?
Can you say that again, please?
When you pin a comment.
When
do you pin a comment? What does it involve? Because it's a little logistically different.
You have to have it up in YouTube in order to do it.
Right.
And then that's a pretty recent thing on my channel. When I got notified through an email from YouTube that I could do it, because I think it's because I had a certain number of views. I think. I don't remember right now, but
I don't know about that rule.
You can click on it. Let me think. Oh, let me try it now, because I think you can do it, because I still have it up from when I was streaming.
I don't think it's restricted to.
You use, the 3 dots.
Yeah. So you have a YouTube tab of the stream open. You click on the 3 dots. Well, you have to put a comment in first.
Of course, I forgot to do it. But yeah, you just it's right there. If you click on the 3 dots, you can either go to the channel, pin the message, or remove it. When I see it, that's what I'm seeing. And then those are my choices. And so, you can pin the message. And it just pins it to the top. And then you can always deselect it and pin something else later. I've seen people do that.
Right. You're talking about the live chat, right? Just to clarify.
Yes, the live chat.
Okay.
Not the
Right.
Not the comments, but I'm really starting to trip over my tongue now. Not the comments below, but the live chat. Yes.
Right. I've only done this once, so I've never tried to change it. But yes, so just to clarify for the folks at home, Heather says one of the things she does before the stream goes live while she's sitting in the backstage is go to the YouTube stream, write in a comment that's the message she wants to get across that day or the event that she wants to promote, and then pins it to the top of the live chat so that everyone coming in interacting with the live chat sees that as the first one.
Good to do prior to the stream starting.
What's that?
That would be good to do prior to the stream coming, but although it wouldn't matter, because even if somebody comes in prior to you, it'll still be pinned to the top.
Right.
Yeah. so that wouldn't matter. But that would.
That was another great tip because I hadn't done that before, so that's great. So Nia was saying, I do want to question if it's productivity because we have no problem getting chatty and distracted. So, yeah, it's good to start with one question for the focus of the chat. And Eva was asking about the quality of the video. Is this something I didn't realize was set wrong on my end or Heather's? And I'm not sure.
No idea.
I have not changed any settings. I think it's...
I haven't changed any settings.
I think it's the same as when I stream. Yeah. I've definitely been on other streams where it's grainier and I don't change the settings. So I think it's just like YouTube trying to manage the stream quality with my internet because it's at the user endpoint that they're kind of juggling that. But interesting questions. Good questions. We're learning. Okay, so we got chat. Talked a little bit about the comments. Timers. So we did the banners. Timers I was going to ask about. So if you've been on any of my sprints, you know that I started out with just scroll banners that said we're sprinting until :22, right? Whatever the calculated minute was for however long. And then when timers got to be a thing, I started sharing the screen so that people would see the timer because it's fun. It's visual. It's like, I don't know, you get a little sound or ambiance, whatever. But sometimes if your internet is already stressed, it will freeze or, do random things. And then it's just more stress. So if Heather is also in that position, she had another fun tip. Heather, what was your tip for like sharing a timer that was low?
Well, if your internet's getting a little whatever, wonky, whatever you want to call it, you can actually use Google timers or some other really basic timer. There's a couple others that are internet based, but if of course you know Google timer and that stuff. But then I just thought actually, you could go old fashioned. Wasn't it? Who was that? By the Brook that used to use a manual kitchen timer, and she had it like somewhere where you could see it.
I think
yeah. Why not? Before I started doing all this as a freelancer to keep track of my time, how much time I was taking on a specific thing, I literally would use the microwave timer.
Oh yeah, that's how I make my tea. Is I steep the tea and I set the timer on the microwave.
Do certain things to do certain things in the kitchen. Manual timer or use the microwave timer. So yeah, whatever you got to do. Brooke Passmore. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so
right. Yes.
Whoops.
Yeah. I actually, I also, it's also a great parenting tool because the kids can see it move, to use a timer and have it set up and, okay, I'll be done when this goes off, I'll be done. And then we can go do the thing.
Right. Concrete.
Yeah.
Results.
Concrete. Yes.
So there's 3 or 4 different options for people for time.
Right.
You use a scrolling banner with a minute, and then you just keep looking up at it like I did. You share a timer that is fancy and pretty and has ambiance if you've got the creme de la creme Cadillac internet. Or you do in between with like a physical timer that you can see or a Google timer, which is simple enough not to stress out your internet service provider. So lots of options to work with there. We did the banners. I'm going to ask Heather to pin. Wait, can we do this? We can't do this from StreamYard. She can't do it on my channel. We can't do what I want to do, but I want to use this banner anyway. Since Heather is an editor, and we've got editors in the chat, I thought it would be fun to have people talk about their biggest fear about working with an editor so that she can read out the comments and we can go through those and have that be our little...
I saw that in there. I was like,
you're like, what? What is that? Yes. Yeah, JC's got the full name, a side kitchen timer, and hooked it up to something so that people could see.
Yeah. It was like
another camera view?
She had it on what did she have it on? Like yardstick or something.
Really interesting.
Yeah, something. An analog one? Is that what that is?
A logo one. So like if you had if you had your own that you were sharing from your computer, instead of streaming to your computer and then back out on your stream, it would be just from your computer out. So it would be less stress. And then you could brand it how you wanted. That makes sense.
Yeah. Again, something I can create in Canva.
Yeah.
Which I have not yet created a timer, but I know so many people are. And the more I think about it, the more I think I might just actually do that. Create some such. Hi.
Okay, so let's see my checklist. Between mine and yours, we had a lot to cover, but I think we're almost there. Description, sharing announcements, links,
and that let's see, the pinning of the and that would be like
the verbal
intention of the stream. I think I have done that in the past. It's just been a while. And again, I'm just kind of
There's the ideal world, and then there's
coming up with a checklist.
So further on the subject of things Margaret thinks too much about, one of the things that I do to have ready is the upcoming attractions, but not just the links. The other part to that is that I have a break in the middle or a thing at the end where I verbally tell people, because one, some people retain better hearing it, and two, they're already there, so like you have an audience to talk to, right? So it's a missed opportunity if you're not telling them where they can find you next. So I try to remember, put it on my checklist. The next video is going to be XYZ. And of course, I don't have a link for my next one. It's Wednesday. It's a wrap up, but it's fine. I've said it before. So people will find me on Wednesday at 11. Does that seem like something that you would want to include, or does it just seem needless, or you would accomplish the same thing in a different way?
Yeah, I would probably do it that way because, again, sometimes, and I've been thinking a lot about, I've now had a day set as a day for uploading now, although it is kind of early in the week. And that's kind of related to that.
Which day is it?
Tuesdays.
Tuesday.
However, my weekends tend to be quite packed full with not only my stream, but also family stuff. So,
So you're actually supporting my point, which is that if you're already streaming, that is the place where you don't have to take extra time to do a thing, because we've got such little time to write, right? The time that we're streaming and we're trying to write, it's competing for the same. So if you're already on the stream, like, use that to tell people rather than put it on your list. Go to Twitter, write a post. Go to Facebook, write a post. Like, that's another thing to do.
Right.
Just say it while you're already talking to people, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ideally, right? Ideally, yeah. Eva's the only one who's answered the question. Eva gets special points today. So her biggest fear about working with an editor is paying them and them
not hitting the deadline to get it back to the author. Yes, that's probably a big thing.
Is this from the editor point or from the writer point?
From an author's perspective, I do believe is what she's talking about.
Okay.
Paying an editor and them. Well, that's the thing. That's why you don't. A lot of editors I know, they don't collect until everything's done. And and it's on, and it can be on both ends where for some editors, author doesn't pay. And that's why an editor does all the collecting after the fact. Or unless they do an installment plan. But
right. I've always done installment.
Obviously, but there's deadline issues on both sides, basically.
Okay. Yeah, them not hitting deadlines from the author's perspective. Gotcha. All right, well, we're almost to the end of our time here. Eva's extra points. Yes, my stream Sundays on Streamyard is completely free for people. There's an interest form down in the comments. I don't have a November person signed up yet, so if you're interested in learning whatever you want to learn on Streamyard with me, November is open. See if one of the slots work for you. And yeah, Ko-fi would be great. From the editor's perspective, it's that their story will require more work than the price I give. Yeah. Yeah.
I've done that.
Yeah, horror editor stories. I can imagine.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So we've heard a little bit about the watercolor creeping in for the art side. We've heard about a little bit of the editor business and how that's been going for a long time, and you're focusing on a subgenre, which is great. What about the YA fantasy? That's what you said you're writing, right?
Yes. Something I've been. It's been a long-term project, basically. I started working with this idea in. I got the idea in January of 2008, and so because I was doing some research on my maiden name, I didn't know what the nationality was. So this sparked an idea. As well, at the same time, I was just kind of playing what if games in my brain, in my head, to relax at night. And in what if this, what if that, and I put it all together, and I said, OMG, I think this might be an idea for something. And it's something that has been kicking around in my brain since then. I started researching it, and then I realized this is going to be a large project. And so overwhelm ensued, but because I was already mom and there was a lot going on that year, but including moving, and my kid was getting evaluated, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, since then I've learned a lot about, not maybe a lot, but I've learned some about fiction writing. So it's, I don't know if you would call it a YA, but it's I've talked to some people about it pretty recently. I've started talking to more than just talking to specifically speculative fiction authors about it, and starting to do critiques with them. And I've been prodded to keep going. So that I'm taking that as a positive thing.
Nice. You say speculative fiction, like you're familiar with it, which is good. I only came across this term.
I grew up with it. Hey, I was a teenager in the 80s. So.
Yeah. This umbrella term only like a couple months ago, but I'd been writing stories that were kind of like under that banner. And so here's my plug. Here's my call to action, is that it's Sunday. Tomorrow is the day I'm putting my manuscript into draft to digital, which is D to D. That was the comment I had earlier. And so I will have a pre-order link later this week, and it's coming out in 2 weeks. So the stuff is hitting the fan, and it's speculative stories. And I should have known you earlier so that I could ask you for your help.
Wow,
but
congratulations.
Next time, yes. Yay. Pre-order coming soon. Yes. Very excited for that. So that is my next thing coming out besides just more videos. But I think I got all my list covered. Is there any last questions that you had, or things that you learned that you wanted to impart to the lovely audience we've had today?
When I do hear people saying, "Oh, I could never do that," they say, "Oh, I would be so anxious, I would fumble over my words." I've been doing this for over 2 years now. I'm much more comfortable than I used to be. As a person with a variety of issues, but with chronic anxiety, and I'm a stutterer. It's it's been interesting, let's just say. Here I am trying to slow my words down so I don't stutter, which is also why I say a lot. So also forgive that, because I'm trying not to stutter. And it can work out. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be perfect. And this is coming also from what have I called it in the past? I'm a, it's like AA. I'll always be a perfectionist, but
Yeah.
Brain's not working right now. Again, I've been talking for hours. 4 hours.
As you get more in your groove, Heather, your confidence in your abilities always comes out, even if your confidence in talking about them doesn't. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Sweet. Well, you've got streams on Sundays. What is the time again in Eastern? You're in Eastern time? You're in Central time.
Eastern.
You're in Eastern time.
I'm Eastern. Well, okay. Actually, I'm in West Central Florida. So even though Shannon SD Houston is in Florida too, she's in the Panhandle. So she's Central, but I'm Eastern.
There's so many other tubers in Florida. I'm getting FOMO. I need to visit.
Real quick, I'm like about a little less than an hour and a half away from Lisa Daly.
There must be something in the air.
We're in the same TV viewing area. So I know what's going on in Sarasota, where she lives, because it's weather-wise, because we have the same news going on.
Right. Well, we're a close-knit community, so it's good to know that some of us are geographically close as well. Yeah. Talking about geography. I'm going to do what I normally forget to do, which is put the final banner up. Thanks, everybody, for joining. I think we did a lot less technical stuff today, but a lot more mental preparation and promotion and publicity. So I hope that was useful for everybody.
It was really useful.
Yeah, and thanks for joining, Heather. We will see you on your channel. Tuesday's videos, Sunday streams, and thanks.
I'm laughing at what Savion is saying. Everyone needs to move to Florida. I don't know. We have so many people.
I'll visit, but I am not moving there.
Actually, the housing.
Yeah, that's okay. We're not going to go into that part. Yeah, we're gonna close down for today, everybody, and I will see you again soon. Check down below for Heather's links and for the next big thing here. We'll see you soon.